Well, hello, and welcome to Majesty Sussex Report After Dark. Yes, folks. So this is our. It's not like the first one because we did. Hang on a second. After dark. Well, it's dark right now. So how could it be after dark? Folks, I'm having a moment right now. Like I'm. This is no for real. Like it's making me. Hang on. Okay, so the first time we did this, I called it After Hours. Right? Yes. It was After Hours. And now I'm calling it After Dark. But is After Dark actually a thing? Because, like, if I'm thinking it's After Dark, so what would be actually After Dark? Like, it's night right now when I'm recording this. So After Dark would mean it's not dark anymore. It's getting towards morning? Sunrise? Okay. You folks are probably going, OMG, what is wrong with him? So I think I'm gonna leave this in because it's so silly and stupid. I'm having a stupid moment. Oh, yo. Okay. I'm gonna let you folks decide whether we're going to call this thing After Hours or After Dark. I will put the survey up in the community tab or the community area, and also you can leave a comment whether it should be After Dark or After Hours. So thank you. So I'm sure you folks want to talk about Kate Middleton and the whole, I don't know, there's like all the magazines and stuff caught on fire and all decided to print the same thing. So this whole thing about she's not coming back, I think it started with Us Weekly magazine. They had the ones who did the first sort of thing, and then another magazine picked it up, and then I think the New Yorker did, and so on and so on and so on, right? Now, I've said this before, I have a very uncomfortable feeling, and it makes me feel, uncomfy in general, talking too in depth about that situation. Like, of course, I don't have an issue telling you or bringing to you and say, okay, this is what they're saying, or this is what the publications are printing now. But to get more into it, I just every time, and I mean, listen, you can think I'm being weird or whatever, that's fine, but every time I approach that subject, there is something very dark about all of what's happening there, and I want to be very mindful about what I say, what I put out in the universe in regards to that, because something, and I think we know this, there's something that is not right. I listen, the person could be inexistent still. The person could not be. The person could be locked up somewhere because they've had a mental breakdown, or maybe they're not. Maybe they're holding off for a better divorce deal. Maybe they're testing to see how the public will react so that they can have a better hands to play. I don't know. All I know is that things don't seem right. And everything that the palace has communicated, it's either been proven incorrect, false, a lie, doctored, or some impersonator. Everything surrounding it. The more I kind of focus onto it, the more my system, my everything is saying, just stay your distance, because there's a lot of darkness around this situation, and not in anything good, right? And that could just be me being very sensitive, I guess, about certain things. But I'm going to go with what my intuition and my gut is telling me to do, because I feel very disturbed by a lot of what's going on. And I know we can discuss and say, well, this person has got everything, karma, and what goes around comes around. Look, I am with you 100%, but that doesn't mean, for me, it doesn't mean that I want to get my hands and mind and whatever inside that thing too, and I don't know, be a part of that intensity. Like the way I approach it is to bring you folks the information that I've, that I know people are discussing, and then let you do as you wish and discuss as you wish. Because there's a lot there, and I don't care one way or another. I mean, I am interested in how they're going to play this story out. But there is some stuff there that I just feel, it doesn't feel right. So thank you folks for understanding that I don't get deep down inside. But what I do want to do, I wanted to talk, I guess in lieu of me not getting done and dirty, talk about mistresses and the aristocratic set, and a little bit about sort of that history of that. Okay, so let's do that. The phenomena of aristocratic mistresses, an historical investigation. The institution of aristocracy, with its roots deeply entrenched in history, has always been associated with a distinct set of social norms and practices. One such practice, often met with both intrigue and controversy, is the maintenance of mistresses by aristocratic men. This phenomena, exemplified by the well-known relationship between Prince Charles and Camilla, now Queen Camilla, consort queen, raises questions about its historical origins, social acceptance, and the implications for those involved. What I'll try to do is to explore why aristocratic men have historically had mistresses, examine notable examples throughout history, and consider the cultural and societal factors that perpetuate this practice. The tradition of aristocratic men having mistresses can be traced back to the feudal system of medieval Europe. In these societies, marriages among the nobility were often arranged for political alliances and the consolidation of power, rather than for love or personal compatibility. Consequently, the emotional and physical needs of aristocratic men were frequently met outside of their marriages. So, here are several factors that contributed to the prevalence of mistresses in aristocratic circles. 1. Political and economic alliances. Marriages were often strategic, designed to strengthen political alliances and secure economic benefits. Love and personal fulfillment were secondary considerations. Gender roles and expectations. Aristocratic men were often afforded greater personal freedoms, while women were expected to remain faithful and uphold the family's honor. This double standard allowed men to seek companionship and intimacy outside of marriage without facing significant social repercussions. Social prestige. Maintaining a mistress was sometimes seen as a symbol of power and virility. It demonstrated a man's ability to provide for additional households and was often a mark of his social and economic status. Throughout history, numerous examples illustrate the widespread acceptance of mistresses among the aristocratic set. One of those examples is King Henry VIII and Anne Boleyn. Perhaps one of the most famous instances is King Henry VIII of England and his relationship with Anne Boleyn. Henry's desire to marry Anne led to England's break with the Roman Catholic Church and the establishment of the Church of England. Before their marriage, Anne was effectively his mistress, and their relationship significantly impacted English history. And we also have Louis XIV of France and Madame de Pompadour. Louis XIV, known as the Sun King, had several mistresses, but Madame de Pompadour is particularly noteworthy. She was not only his lover, but also a close advisor and influential figure at court. Her presence underscored the political power a mistress could wield. And of course, Prince Charles, now King Charles, and Camilla Parker Bowles. In contemporary times, the relationship between Prince Charles and Camilla Parker Bowles, now consort queen Camilla, has been a subject of public fascination, right? We can debate the word. I'm not completely sure fascination is the word, but that's what I wrote there. So their long-standing affair, which began while Charles was married to Princess Diana, eventually led to Charles and Camilla's marriage after Diana's death and Camilla's subsequent rise to the position of queen consort. So the phenomena of mistresses among the aristocracy continues to be accepted in certain circles due to a combination of tradition, social norms, and the discretion typically exercised in these relationships, right? So if we look at a historical precedent, the long history of mistresses in aristocratic culture provides a sense of continuity and acceptance. It is seen as a time-honored practice that is part of the fabric of aristocratic life. Discretion and privacy. Aristocratic circles often maintain a code of discretion regarding personal relationships. Affairs are conducted privately, and the societal norm is to overlook or tactfully accept these arrangements. Cultural norms. In some cultures, the concept of maintaining a mistress is not viewed with the same moral judgment as in others. It can be seen as a legitimate aspect of an aristocrat's lifestyle. So, the practice of maintaining mistresses among aristocratic men has deep historical roots and is influenced by a variety of social, political, and economic factors. From the strategic marriages of medieval Europe to the contemporary relationship of now King Charles and consort Queen Camilla, this phenomena reflects the complexities of aristocratic life. While societal norms continues to evolve, the historical precedent and cultural acceptance of mistresses in aristocratic circles ensure that this practice remains an intriguing aspect of elite social behavior. Understanding this phenomena provides insights into the intricate dynamics of power, love, the way they may see it or define it, and societal status within the aristocratic world. As we draw our exploration to a close, it becomes clear that the phenomena of aristocratic men maintaining mistresses is not merely a relic of history, but continues to influence and be influenced by contemporary values, wealth, and societal norms. The vast wealth and privilege that define the lives of aristocratic men today continues to play a significant role in sustaining this practice. With substantial financial resources, these men are often able to support additional households discreetly, maintaining a mistress without significant economic strain. This financial cushion allows them to navigate personal relationships with a degree of freedom and discretion that less affluent individuals might not possess. We must also consider the different moral codes and values that operate within these affluent circles of the aristocratic society. Men often adhere to a distinct set of social norms where maintaining a mistress is tacitly accepted, if not openly acknowledged. This code of conduct, deeply rooted in centuries of tradition, views such relationships as part and parcel of the aristocratic lifestyle. It reflects a different moral landscape, one where personal desires and historical precedent frequently overshadows conventional notions of marital fidelity. Contrast this with the values held by less affluent people, where the morality surrounding relationships often takes a different form. In many cases, cheating or having a mistress is deemed unacceptable. This moral stance is deeply influenced by culture, religion, and social teachings that emphasize the sanctity of marriage and the importance of fidelity. These values are often reinforced by the community and societal expectations, which hold individuals accountable to higher standards of personal conduct. The disparity in how infidelity is perceived across different societal structures and strata can be traced back to various sources, including religious doctrines, societal norms, and cultural traditions. Many religious teachings, for instance, unequivocally condemn adultery, promoting a moral framework that values loyalty and monogamy. These principles are often echoed in the social fabric of communities, where mutual trust and respect within relationships are highly prized. The phenomena of aristocratic men having mistresses is multifaceted, influenced by historical precedent, wealth, and different moral codes. While it may be viewed with a degree of acceptance within affluent circles, it often starkly contrasts with the values held by less affluent individuals, who may regard such behavior as morally and ethically unacceptable. Understanding these divergent perspectives provides us with a broader view of how wealth and social standing shapes personal relationships and moral judgments in today's world. Okay, let's get to your comments.
Connie Balmer. Hello, Antonio dear. Thank you for everything. Connie, thank you for the super thanks. H. Jace Ed. The point is taken. The fashion show was splendid. Spirit 5228. Did you do the background for the pictures? Awesome. Awesome commentary. Shirley O. Another great podcast. Incredible fashion. Thanks, Lady Foot. Antonio. Was that you, one of the male models in the AMVCA show? Euphemia. Beautiful fashion and very beautiful black women. Yalibi, hello, Antonio. Sharon McDaniel. Thank you. Thank you, Antonio. Pauline. Absolutely breathtakingly beautiful. Alice. Thank you, Antonio, for your kind thoughts of Harry and Meghan. Ladi Sawa. Hi, Antonio. Just continue to dwell on looking after the Sussexes. They are amazing people. Let us not dwell on what has been said. Like you rightly said, positive vibes. That is all what the Sussexes is all about. I love them both very dearly, so there is nothing anybody or anyone will say about them that will change my own opinion about them. Love. Joyce Anderson. Good afternoon to you, Antonio, and everyone. Marcia Williams. Greetings, Antonio and Sussex Squadron. You've hit the nail on the head re clothing, modesty, and control. Beautifully presented fashion.
Sharon Augustine, thank you so much for the love. Much appreciated. And of course, Connie Balmer, thank you for the super thanks once again. And to each and every one of you, thank you for taking the time to leave a comment. And I love reading them, as I've said before. So to Ladyfoot, are you trying to pull my leg here? Are you trying to make fun of me? Let me tell you, I wish I looked as good as any one of them in the AMVCA awards. They're just, I mean, everyone, they're just freaking good looking, period, right? So, but thank you. I take it, and maybe one day you might see me there in another life. So thank you very, very, very much. I agree with you 100%, Marcia. The whole thing in regards to clothing is used as a political weapon, right? And it's used also as a religious weapon. It's used as a control weapon in order to control the lives of women. And it's been done through centuries, in history. And men don't have the same sort of well, let me put it this way: the majority of men don't have the same issue. Now, there are men who may decide they want to make a statement or rebel and go against what the norms are. And, if it's a cisgender straight man doing it, then society kind of accepts it. Oh, well, he's being courageous and brave. He's wearing a skirt or, I don't know, a dress or something. If a queer man does that, then he is ostracized. Right? Society is messed up, right? Because if you read between the lines in that messaging, if the person who is queer, male queer, wearing a female, supposedly a feminine female garment, then he is ostracized. But if he's male but straight, wearing a female garment, then he's seen as brave and cool and edgy. So what they're basically saying, to be the feminine is not good, right? It's seen as a lower, which okay, I'm gonna stop there before I go off into some tangent about how messed up society is.
Reba Henderson. Thank you, Antonio. It's all about control. I thought we had stopped this insanity in my youth. I wore exactly what I wanted in fashion and my hate. As long as my family approved, I did not care about anyone else. This policing everything women wear is about not enticing men. If men are that weak, they should not leave their homes. Young women will push the boundaries because that is their youth, best shape, gorgeous, and displaying it. They are letting you know they are women, just like men displaying their muscles and strength. All the old people crying about the youth did the same when they were young.
Reba, you're absolutely right. It's always about control. It's always about control. How can we control them? How can we, make them do what we want? And there will always be a framework in order to sell something that will help them achieve what they want to achieve. So, trying to police what women wear and how they wear it and everything else. And Reba, you really hit the nail in the head, or whatever that saying is again. Because if men are the stronger gender, right? If men are this strong thing, then why is their capacity to control themselves in the presence of a woman dressed however she wants to dress, right? Because I could never understand when these things would come up, whether it's in a court case or harassment or even and it was like, well, she asked for it because that's the way she was dressed. Or these honor killings that happens in certain parts of the world. Like, that is your sister. That is your daughter. And because someone said that they saw her talking to some boy somewhere, it is so frustrating because it makes no sense if you're going to say, well, men are the stronger gender, right? And women are the weaker one. But then all these obligations that you put on women basically indicates that you are weak. Because if you can't control the basic thing, which is your own body, your own emotions, your own desire and critical thinking, in order to be able to not regress somehow to some animalistic sense of, oh, me Tarzan, you Jane, you have body, I have body, blah, 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 blah. Come on. Right? So it's so ridiculous, because sometimes I think, what are men so afraid of? What are men so afraid of? And I even think about crisis that we're having presently between men and women, and some men becoming these ultra incels and misogynistic, and they're blaming women for stuff, and women are just like, well, we just want you to like level up, man. Like, you know, I could go on more about this, but I'm gonna stop. But that was a great comment, because also, you know, you hit your teenage years, and one moment your voice is high, it's low, it's sideways, and things are happening, and you're starting to find or try to find yourself, and you start to dress a bit more risque, or trying to find your own sense of fashion. And parents are just so important. So important. And when I say parents, it doesn't have to be biologically blood parent. It could be someone who takes on that role. You know, a mentor, an aunt, an uncle, people who are in one's lives, a teacher, that are able to build your confidence up, is able to give you a sense of self, and to be proud, and to carry yourself a certain way, right? So, wonderful.
Susie Q, THX, Antonio. I wonder if that so-called first lady saw these outfits. My opinion, somebody whispers in her ear to say S shit about American culture and take a swipe at Princess Meghan. But the backlash was too much for her. She had to put out a statement.
Hello, Susie Q. Thank you very much for that comment. I think it's a very valuable comment, and a very fair one. You know, I kind of thought the same thing a little bit. You know that saying, and I'm going to mess it up, don't throw stones when you live in a glass house or something like that. I hope you're laughing, right? Because I know I'm getting it wrong. I think I should do a podcast of like all the sayings that I think I know, but all wrong. But I usually get the gist of what it's saying, right? It's just that I don't know the exact phrasing of it. Anyways, I think that, look, I could talk about this whole situation for 2 hours or more, because I think there's so much there to discuss. We can discuss what was the content of the speech. We can discuss feminism. We can discuss messaging for young women and the youth of one's country. We can discuss the comparison that is being made about another country being a bad example, right? And taking elements of that country, the entertainment business, basically the Met Gala and Hollywood, and wave a big brush to paint everyone with that. America is not Hollywood. America is not the Met Gala. And to make the assertion that Americans don't have an identity, they don't know who they are, is a very broad assumption. I see validity if one wants to get into a very intellectual conversation as to what the First Lady said. Because one could argue that for some people who don't feel identifiable with their Americanism, could find themselves on the continent and really feel at home, right? And say, I finally know who I am, or I finally feel at home, or I finally feel like I have this identity that really represents me. So I get that, right? But for many Americans also, that will not be the case. They're very proud Americans. They They've been on that land for many, many, many years. They have culture, they have identity, and for someone to say they don't have an identity was quite insulting, right? Now, I would argue and I would say that if we take Meghan out of the equation, because a statement was made with the check, the TV station, whatever, that did the veracity check about the statement, and it was clarified that none of it was targeted to Meghan or anything like that. So let's take Meghan out of the equation. Now, the rest of the speech, look, I'm not Nigerian. I don't live in Nigeria. It's not part of my culture. So I speak from a place of, I'm not going to say ignorance because I'm not ignorant, but I speak from a place of being a feminist. I speak from a place of being a person that is trying to bridge cultures and create unity. So that's the place I'm speaking from. I'm speaking from a place that a person who was seeking and looking for community and found it here, right, with the squatties. And I looked at the content of the speech, and several times over and over and over and over, because stuff was still bugging me. And the two things that really kind of got to me, right, that I thought was really unnecessary was the continued, as I said, continued comparison to America. Like, European women go topless in parks in Europe all the time. So if you want to talk about nakedness, right, like you can bring in other places. Like, don't put all of your thing towards America. It just seems lazy, and it seems like an easy thing to do. And the other thing was the whole thing about they don't know who they are. So those things bothered me. I think other than that, when you're going to give a speech about young people in your country, and again, I'm not part of the culture, so take what I have to say with a grain of salt. Like, please, I'm just speaking from a place of I'm speaking from a place of love, and I'm speaking from a place of how I think one can elevate the conversation. If I have to make a speech and I need to compare, I need to put another nation down in order to elevate mine, I've lost. I had a mentor teacher, and she said, you've lost the minute you have to raise your voice to a level, right? She goes, you've lost. And I'll tell you, that teacher, she's incredible. We're still very, very good friends still. I was in her class, and she would just give you a look. Just a look. She would just look at you, and you were in line. Like, she never raised her voice, and I was like, damn. And part of why I became an educator, like, she inspired me. Now, that is the thing. Like, I think the First Lady could have done a marvelous speech where, when she said, "You're beautiful," like that just filled my heart, because our girls in general, and especially girls of color, minority, black girls, are not told how beautiful they are. Right? When we have our little babies, our little, I'm gonna get emotional with this, and they pick the darkest doll and say she's ugly and bad. They don't hear enough how beautiful they are. They don't hear enough how special, how wonderful. Right? So when the First Lady said that, I was like, yes. And even when she said, you don't need to imitate others, And if she had left it at others, that's fantastic. Don't say America. Don't say these movie star people. I think a stronger speech would have been, because it seemed like the First Lady just went, ad hoc. I didn't see anything prepared, but maybe she did. I'm not sure. And with all due respect, if she had come out there and really just said, this is who we are. And I want you to be proud of this, because like how Meghan said, when she said those things, she goes, the Nigerian woman, is confident, is beautiful, is resilient. That's the thing. Meghan didn't need to compare it to anything else. It just is. That is strong. That is a strong statement. It just is. The Nigerian woman is. She didn't need to say, the Nigerian woman is this, but the Ghana woman isn't. The Nigerian woman is this, but the Ethiopian woman isn't this. No. There's no need to drag another nation or country or people in order to elevate yourself. And that was part of an issue with the speech. And I'm going on and on again. So I'm going to shush now. Sissy Q, thank you so very much. I'm happy that this conversation about this whole thing is kind of coming to a slow end, but it's getting there. My only last thing I'll say about this is that I get worried when we have diverse opinions and some people are not able to, let go, to just say, you know what, I respect your thought and your opinion. You're entitled to it as so I'm entitled to mine. Listen, sister, brother, we'll disagree with this one thing, but I know you and I are like big defenders of Meghan and Harry and the Sussexes. And let's go back to our core. And that's our core. Our core is that we're here for a reason. And we will disagree with this one thing. And that's okay. Right? And move on. I don't want to see us, crumble from the inside. We've accomplished amazing things, folks. I've never heard of another group of people from around the world and everywhere. It's millions of dollars to give to charity and incredible. So let's not allow this one thing, this speech that lasts less than 10 minutes or not even, to be a source of animosity among us. We are better than that. I know we are. We're stronger than that. I know we are. We're funnier than that. I know we are. We're more intelligent than that. I know we are. But that said, Susie Q, thank you for making that comment, because it gives me an opportunity to kind of say what I said, and hopefully it made some sense. Hi. Well, I think this is it. I am going to shut down and go crawl into bed. And hopefully this will be uploaded. I've been having such issues getting things uploaded. It rejects it. And then it tells me I have these infractions and I have to go. Anyways, I've been having issues with YouTube and also with my platform that I use to put the videos together. They haven't resolved the issue yet. There's still, engineers are still looking at it. I'm which engineers are looking at it? Because it's been a week now. So anyways, be kind to yourself. Be kind to your loved ones. To that stranger that may cross your path, be kind to them too. And thank you for the opportunity. Thank you for giving me grace and for blessing me with such a wonderful opportunity to have these conversations. Mwah. Take care, everyone. Bye for now.
Mm-hmm.